So let's talk about revenue management, and let's start with what it is first. You can hear it sometimes called revenue management. One of the other names is yield management. And what it looks like, travel with me on this example. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's the Friday before. You're looking at flights and you're looking at hotel reservations and rental cars, and you're comparing it to the weekend before and the weekend after. And there's a dramatic price difference. Why? Revenue management. That increase is based on increased demand. So you'll see this method used quite a bit in the examples that were mentioned: hotels, flights, rental cars. They've used it for decades. We see it in hotel spa locations, some, maybe not all. But it definitely is an opportunity for day spas because they comprise almost 80% of our industry. So understanding those strategies to be able to shift and move the pricing and demand, or understanding the demand and being able to shift and move schedules, pricing, room bookings, all of those different things to be able to meet that demand. So how are you able to do that? Forecasting, where again, sitting down, planning, not flying by the seat of your pants, knowing these particular holidays are hot, this time of year is cold, these days of the week are booming, these days of the week are crawling, these hours are jumping, and these hours are desolate. That is the foundation of forecasting, really sitting down, looking at your books. Now, it's a little bit harder if you are year one, but by year three, you should be able to anticipate and plan. When I had my spa, there was in Baltimore, there was something called Hamden Fest. And we were open the first year and it was horrible. There was no parking. Our clients couldn't get there. Everything was delayed. Year two, we closed. Plain and simple. It was just too difficult to be able to manage that. So staying on top of things like festivals, concerts, major events in your city. I'm in Las Vegas, so like a CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, where there's like an additional 130,000 people in town. Spas are jumping, and we have, that's one of the larger ones, but we have conferences here on a pretty consistent basis, cowboy, rodeos, all kinds of things. So those directors have gotten very versed at revenue management because they have to, look at their schedules. They have to look at the rooms, the availability, all of those things to be able to maximize revenue. And that's one of the number one aspects when you're looking at the benefits of revenue management, is being able to maximize your profitability. There's not the gaps, there's not the issues, there's not, they come, maybe a therapist calls out sick or you have some unforeseen instance or instance. But for the most part, if you can be able to adjust to that particular demand, and again, managing the demand is one of the benefits of revenue management. Okay, we have a lot of people this weekend. We don't have a lot of demand that weekend. And so you can adjust your staffing, or maybe it's during the week versus the weekend, understanding all that. The other benefit is to the guest. It really does allow you to enhance that guest experience with strategic pricing, promotions that can drive that consumer retention. So when we look at revenue management, there are a few key strategies that you can incorporate into your location regardless of size. One is going to be dynamic pricing. Similar to what the hotels, the rental cars, and the airlines do, is you can adjust your pricing based on demand. So for CES, you might increase it. On Tuesdays, you might decrease it, right? When I worked at a 4-star property, we had a menu with pricing Monday through Thursday, and then we had a menu of pricing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because those were high demand days. Now, again, that required some modification, additional paperwork, adjustments to the website to be able to have those different things, and making sure that we explain that to the consumers when they checked in, when they reserved, when they checked in, and when they checked out. The other thing that we're seeing quite a bit is this concept of memberships. Now, why has it become such a big thing? Because it's guaranteed income. So at that same 4-star property, we were right next door to a new condo building that was coming in. And one of the projects that I was working on before I departed was creating a membership, the benefits and the perks for that particular building of residence. So they could, have a particular offering per month. It gave them access to the location for a set fee every month, knowing that they probably were not going to come in for those services, and it really didn't cost us much other than like maintenance and repairs to be able to use the fitness area. So that's why you're seeing a lot more uptick in this concept of memberships. Is there something you can create at your location where they can come in and have so many set services? And what I would say is, again, go look at your book. Are there particular services that maybe are low demand? What's high demand? And how can you package that together to create that membership opportunity? The other thing is making sure you optimize service means. So prioritizing high margin treatments or bundling packages, and then also looking at how you are doing your scheduling. So one of the things that I noted as a spa owner and brought it over to when I was a director was there was no like solo eyebrow in the middle of a day on a Saturday. No solo eyebrow treatments. Why? Because that's such a low price item, and putting that in the middle of the day just messed up your books for the rest of the day. So that's where that bundling, can you come get a facial with that waxing? Can you get other waxings with the eyebrow waxings? But no 15-minute eyebrow wax in the middle of the day, because it just messes up your books for the entire thing, for the entire day, which also goes back to managing your therapist schedules and the various treatment experiences on what is going to be offered and what's not. One of the topics that I love and that we've talked about quite a bit is being able to utilize AI in your revenue management. So that can help you with the predictions and being able to adjust your price. Again, I think one of the things that I have not said, or not enough maybe, is you should know your business better than anybody else. This is your business. And as someone who is a consultant, and I get called in and I ask certain questions like, what is your highest earning service? What is your busiest and slowest days? And when I get a I don't know from an owner, red flag, red flag, red flag. So making sure that you do understand that you need to have that information so that you can conduct yourself in your business accordingly. You can upload that information into AI and have it output that for you. And then the other thing is you could do data analysis where you can have your programming booking system really look like, what are your top performing services? What are your low performing services? What services do you charge the most? What's your, what's your highest selling retail? And how do we combine some of those things together? So one of the things that you want to try to avoid, which does not maximize revenue management, is just this static pricing. Like you've had the same pricing for 5 years. That does not work, right? Things fluctuate, prices fluctuate, and that way you can bring in new services. You can have stuff for the spring, you can have stuff for every season, you can have items for special events, special occasions, wedding season, all of those different things, but you just don't want to keep it the same. It's kind of like your shelves. You want to have your shelves and what you're offering always be moving and evolving, and not every time I walk in there, I'm going to see the same thing. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Be mindful of discounting. There was a location that I worked at. People knew that if they asked for a discount, they would get it, a major discount, to the point that people came in and complained intentionally because word on the street was, if you complained, you got a discount. You don't want to be known as that. There are discount stores, right? And you're not competing with them. You want to really offer this wonderful experience, and you can charge for that. The other thing is when you start discounting services, that impacts the therapist overall earnings and income. And did they sign up for that? Is there an agreement to that? How are you going to be able to offset those discounts to the price of the therapist who's doing the work? What I learned early on discount retail. You're able to mark it up. People love having their products. Right now, we are seeing that whole lipstick effect where people are coming and buying more products. So now is a time where you could package those products together. If you get 5, you buy 5, you get the 6th one free, or you get it 50% off. Like, see what the major stores are doing, and then how can you modify, incorporate that into your location. And then the other thing that people are missing out on, and I've said it again and again and again, is you're underutilizing technology. It's here. It's a tool that can help you grow. What it's able to do is absolutely amazing. You can be a one-woman, one-man show with a ChatGPT, right? That AI platform where you can go and developing your marketing plan for the month, and you can do the post, and it'll create the images. It will analyze, how your bookings are going, what you can do, your pricing, all of those different things for a nominal fee, if at all. So making sure that you are maximizing your use of technology, which will allow you to really implement this concept of revenue management. And with the outcome being, the ultimate goal being, increasing your profitability. With that, thank you so much. Be well, and I will see you next time.